I have a question. Yep. Where did you guys learn, or how did you learn how to empower teams like that? Because that's like a skill to learn. Like giving them the resources they need to be successful. That's not something that I feel like is very easy. So did you guys just learn that over time? Like all of you guys, because you're running like a lot of different things right now. You can't do it all yourself. Like you need people that are sophisticated, that want to do the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say, I manage a lot of the team members at both companies, and I learned it. The first experience I had was working at like a sales company, like you were working at. It wasn't enterprise sales. It was more like an outsourced sales organization. So Dan and I actually started there, and we were just ripping cold calls, trying to set appointments. We were setters. And I had no clue what a setter was, or an SDR or sales call. I had no idea what any of those things were until I joined that company. And I just had the best experience working with them. It was when I was in college still. So I was only working like 10, 20 hours a week. But it was a startup. I watched them go from like 5 employees to 80 while I was there for the year. Dude. And they would do like weekly trainings. And the trainings were so good. Like I developed skill sets that helped me with like actually getting pretty decent at sales. And I just remember as like a team member, we'd actually look forward to like those days where we would do team trainings. And so I've just learned through what I tend to like when I was in their seat. And then also like I've heard Gary Vee talk about it all the time. Like just get like, you can't, a lot of people try to like SOP the shit out of their team and just be like, follow these SOPs, and SOPs don't leave any room for thinking. And the best way to develop teams, and especially leaders within an organization, is to teach them not how to do things, but how to think about doing things, like the approach to doing things. So just from like books, podcasts, and then also real life job experiences that I've had.
I feel like you like that stuff too, Andre.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like
that's
you like
my
the training,
stuff, bro.
like the ops, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a tricky thing for me, to be honest, dude. It's just like you said, dude, at 25 people, I'm like the complete opposite of SOP.
Yeah.
I don't have any SOPs for like 2 years. And when we did, I didn't build any of them.
Yeah.
Like I will give you whatever you need, but I hired you to do the job and do it successfully. If you need anything, come to me. I'm here to support you. I will mock calls, software, HubSpot, whatever it is. I can get that for you. But that training piece, dude, is very, very tricky for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I just like don't have the energy or the interest to like go into it and be like, these 3 hires we just made, oh, I can't wait to like teach them everything and spend all day with them. But that's kind of what's needed. Yeah. You know, so that they're successful.
That's like the number one thing, bro, in the beginning is time, like investing your time with them.
Exactly.
Because most people hire and they're like, oh, finally, I can free up my time and do something else. And it's like, whoa, wait a second. Like you need to nurture that person in the role before you can completely just step away.
That's right.
But dude, I mean, you're big into training and learning and reading, right? We talked about that on our YouTube interview a little while back. And so just like if you enjoy learning as much as you do, like share that with your new team members as well. And there's probably frameworks that you have as well, as like you've read so many books and have gone through so many courses, like you kind of know the ways to like cut corners, I would imagine.
Yeah. A little bit, dude. A good example is my buddy Paul. He's in Austin and he works at SalesSurf now. And I've done the whole account management because we're like a B2B service, dude. I've done the account management. I know just about how every conversation with a client goes. Yeah. But I teach him by like doing it almost for him. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah, Paul, like this is what you just say this, dude. Like this is how we think about this. Like always position things in a positive light, right? And he learns from that. He's actually a quick learner. So you're right, Andre. I think a large part of it is the person too, though. Like, are they willing? Are they asking for more? Do they want to learn and like figure it out themselves? You know?
Yeah. Number one thing to hire for is drive, because all the skill sets can be taught. All of us learned the skill sets we never had before. Just like you said, a couple of years ago, doesn't seem too far back. And then for account managers and CSMs and support roles specifically, the 2 books that I would recommend doing like book clubs with those guys specifically are 12 and a Half Ingredients by Gary Vee. It literally has like examples of conversations and how Gary and his team handle them and think about them with like some of the most like Fortune 500 companies in the world going back and forth with Gary's marketing agency. Wow. And then my favorite one by far is Unreasonable Hospitality. We read that as a book club last summer. Christian was on some of those calls. Dan was on some of those calls with our success team. And just by having them read it and come to the call with like big takeaways, and it wasn't just what you learn. It's like, what are you going to do now in your role? based on what you learn.
Amazing.
And that was every single week. And there are so many systems we have in place now that I would have never thought of. It was the people on the team that thought of them and then implemented them together without me being there.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this short clip, check out the full interview here. And if you want to see more clips from this episode, check it out right here.